and my name and the names of all my brothers and sisters painted on the branches. My dad had a job selling mortgages that took him all over Southern California, driving from place to place with a thick briefcase of paperwork, helping other families get into the houses they wanted for their kids. Early in the morning, he would get into his big, loud pickup truck, and by the time he got home, I was long asleep. My mom really loved being a stay-at-home mother, even after raising 5 kids from her first marriage, so she quit her job as a nurse and stayed home with me. After school, she would pick me up, and I would sit at the kitchen table and do my homework. She would make dinner for the 2 of us, and then we would lie on the couch and watch television, snuggling under our favorite blue and white Afghan, with yarn fringe and tassels on the corners. I'd lie there with my mom and run my fingers through the fringe, untangling the knots as the sun went down and the house got darker, until there was just the light from the television screen. I was baptized at 8 years old, just like all Mormon kids. And just like in most traditional Mormon families, my father performed the baptism. Every night we had family prayer before I went to bed. My parents would come into my bedroom, and we would all kneel at the side of my bed and fold our hands on the purple and green flowered bedspread. Usually it was my dad who said the prayer for all of us, out loud. He would ask Heavenly Father to watch over us and keep us safe. I especially loved Monday nights because my parents would sit down and teach me lessons from a church manual, and we'd have homemade treats. Mormon families the world over did the same thing on Monday nights. We called it family home evening. But there were signs, even when I was young, that I was the kind of person who couldn't stay in a place like Apple Valley for long. School I found dreadfully boring, and even in elementary school, I fought my mom about going. When I got there, I goofed off to kill the boredom. I also fought her over piano, karate, and ballet lessons. Looking back, I remember arguing with my parents a lot, and always getting into trouble. I was a bit of a handful at times, rowdy and independent. But being strong-willed and spirited also had its benefits. One time I organized all the kids on the block to build a treehouse for me. I had asked my dad to build me one, but he hadn't gotten around to it. So when he got home from work and found me directing a group of 5 or 6 neighborhood kids cutting up the wood, I think that's when he realized it would be better for everyone if he finished the project. When he'd completed it, a ladder went up to the treehouse, and built-in seating benches were inside. It even had a basket you could raise and lower. I loved it. I would stay up in that treehouse all day when I could, reading Little House on the Prairie books. The whole set, over and over again. My big dream was to grow up and become a lawyer in New York City. Not that I knew any lawyers, especially women lawyers, but one of the shows Mom and I loved to watch was Law and Order. I felt outraged watching bad things happen to good people, especially watching good people go to jail. I loved watching the gray-haired prosecutor put a case together and try to get things to turn out right. I wanted to help. And the fact that I was really good at arguing, with my parents, for example, could only be an asset. But all that seemed so far away. Even when I was goofing off or talking back or riding my purple go-kart a little too fast down the street, I could not imagine a life apart from my parents. I can see now that when I was testing them, it was because I wanted to know they loved me. I wanted to belong to them as badly as they wanted to keep me safe. When I was about 10, my oldest brother came home for a visit. He was in his 20s then, tall with big muscles, not married, but going to community college and feeling newly serious about his life. He made a special point of sitting me down in my bedroom for a talk. We sat side by side on my flowered bedspread. "Alex," he said, "do you have a testimony? Do you know the church is true?" He wanted to know if I felt as strongly as he did about being Mormon, if I believed in everything I learned on Sundays, if I believed as he did that our